Hello everyone and welcome to EPIC48 with Intel, along with our lovely sponsors Overclockers, ROG and XP Pro Eyewear. We've just had a little bit of a break coming back from a nail-biter of a game.
It was a bit of a close one, that one. 14-12 for Aconite. It was very much a nail-biter. I mean, we came back from 7-0 down on the hard side of Pick and Mix. They were down 7 rounds and they still managed to clutch it back, nearly taking the lead at the end there. But Aconite just about managing to finish it in overtime. I don't think I've seen a better game in a long time.
Yeah, they just managed to clinch it out. I mean, we spoke to a couple of the players, afterwards, during the break, and we did a little bit of insider knowledge. It's like it came down to more internal issues rather than gameplay issues. So in terms of how Pick and Mix lost,
so. I feel obviously we're early into the weekend. We've only just played our third round of EPIC48 at 48, and it is baby steps until we eventually make it towards some of the stronger performances. But you got to make these initial steps. You can't win if you don't lose first. You have to go through failure to become better, and I think this is what we're seeing for Pick and Mix because they're already performing really well. So hopefully we're going to see some more of that later. But I think it's fair to say, first and foremost, we do have a brand new game here: DND and BISH BASH BOSH. BOSH. I like that as a name.
That's a good name. I like
it. Feels good, doesn't it?
It's good to say BOSH. Powerful. Yeah. But DND and BISH BASH BOSH. So looking at BISH BASH BOSH, fairly new team. Very green.
Yeah, it's really nice to see. I mean, we do have 2 returning faces. We have Solid and Ling Ling, but they're only really recent players. They only really started at the last Epic LAN in February. But outside of that, they're completely brand new roster, never been to Epic LAN before, and I think that in of itself is amazing to see.
Oh, 100%, yeah. So it'd be really interesting to see how, this team performs under the pressure because, there's not very many experienced players outside of Solid and Ling Ling. Like you said, it's only their second LAN.
Yeah.
So even in terms of experience goes, they're still fairly new, still fairly fresh to the Epic LAN scene. So, nerves could be creeping in a lot more so than some of the other teams that have, some fresh faces.
Potentially, you say that because they haven't had the best of starts. They're 1 and 2 with a bit of an asterisk because that is the bye win that they got, but 13-12 loss to Hot Damn GC, 13-12 again against Snoggers. They've not been performing particularly well recently, but obviously neither of D&D.
No, they haven't. I mean, there are a few people on this team that have been here before. So we've got Skies. She switches between Valorant and CS, but hasn't been on Valorant since 44. So out of the game a little bit. So trying to maybe break off that rust, brush it off. Jenny and Jess, they tend to be on the same teams since 43.
Yeah, good colleagues. I think they've got that synergy already. As with Pristine as well, because they've all sort of played together. This is sort of the core of a roster that we always see here at Epic LAN, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, and then Popatron, first LAN as a player, but she has got that managerial experience in the past.
Indeed.
But how that translates, from out game in game, it's it's hard to say, right? And also kudos to Popatron. She was in A&E yesterday, so coming straight from that to a LAN to play, especially in this heat. Kudos to her.
Massive congrats. Well, congrats to making it at the very least.
100%.
But yes, hopefully she's doing all right now.
The team would not be able to function without her.
Indeed, but neither team will be able to function without our map veto. So, shall we have a look and see what we're facing up against today?
So, Summit out of the question. I mean, this is my second game, but I haven't seen. We've had one Summit.
We had Summit for the Pick and Mix game earlier against. I can't remember who it was. I think. I can't remember who it was. It'll be someone will remind me later. But it was that Cloverlet game where they messed around a little bit. But it was a good game on a Summit there, which, I mean, I'm not surprised people aren't too fond of this new map. But that said, Lotus, we have seen a lot of Lotus in the past. It is a very popular map for a lot of these sorts of teams that want to compete. And hopefully, we're going to see a good match here.
And we've got D&D on defense. So, BISH BASH BOSH, they're going to be opting for the double duelists, or Jet and Neon. I'll be honest, Avi, since Neon has had her changes and her nerfs, I'm surprised that she's still one of the higher picked agents.
I'm not particularly. I take your point. Neon's nowhere near as strong as she has been in the past, but I think the raw power of having someone that fast to initiate and distract, that in of itself is more powerful than anything else in her kit could be.
I would have hoped that it would pave the way for more variety in that duelist category. Now, it begs the question, what would Riot have to do in order for that to happen?
Make Waylay playable.
Make Waylay playable. Pave the way for Waylay.
Yes, indeed, that feels very much the case, but on the other side, looking at DND, actually sort of the mirror with a few things here. They've gone Chamber with the Fade, which, yeah, we see a lot of, especially on Lotus, but the Breach coming through. I very much like watching Breach gameplay, and I'm a big fan of Clove. I will always advocate for Clove gameplay, and it's nice to see too.
Oh, 100%. I'm really happy that we're seeing Fade. I'm a big Fade fan.
Are you now?
Oh, 100%. I enjoy seeing Fade. I like the kit. I like the way she plays, and the way she has to function around the map, and the way her utility interacts with the terrain as well. But on Lotus, I would very much expect the Breach. I'm surprised Bish Bash Bosh aren't running the Breach, because Breach has that area coverage with the fault line, the thunder, the rolling thunder, the flashpoint, and there's a lot of geometry and architecture that Breach can just completely, evade and mitigate, through their utility, opening up for a lot of opportunities that otherwise wouldn't be so. But you can see that the big stack on A site for both sides going into this pistol round. So Bish Bash Bosh are going to start things off on the attack. One member of DND is going to be hanging back over onto C site just in case anyone decides to make their way over, but Bish Bash Bosh are going to be 5-man rushing right into the faces of DND, so it's going to be interesting to see how they answer.
It's going to be so scrappy here as Ling Ling, the first to find a pick onto that raise, but it's incredibly messy already. Everyone firing all the util they have. Shots fired again, straight down this A-site main. As it's traded, everyone trading back and forth, 2 for 2 left.
That it is, and now that they've broken the wall and now they're making way over onto B site, it has been notified. So Jenny is going to be making first contact. They might want to be waiting outside of that dark cover, just playing, a bit more patiently. And Bish Bash Bosh faking the plant, so they're going to be opting to rotate over to C site now, faking D&D out. Are they going to call it, or are they just going to wait until, time has passed a little bit too long? At this point, they should understand that, they're rotating over to C, and you can see that Jess is making their way over, just slowly waiting to reconvene with Chamber. Bryce finds it. Now they put Jenny into a 1v2 situation.
Yeah, Jenny does have Headhunter with 6 bullets available to her, but that's not bad onto Rice. So obviously that one-shot kill, but Curix, nice and clean for him. And you can't argue with it. It was a very clean one for Bish Bash Bosh. Despite that early scrap towards the A side, it was incredibly clean to finish that one off.
Oh, 100% would definitely agree with you. Yeah, that first initiation, very, very scrappy. Was potentially looking like it was going to be a sweep for Bish Bash Bosh, but DND able to core it out, not able to finish off the round, but they got it down to the wire, which was nice to see. Both teams, aggressing onto each other, quite nicely, and aggression was something that you pointed out earlier that DND were a little bit reluctant to do. So seeing that was like, oh my goodness! Outlaws from Ling Ling and Seifi to kick things off from either side of the map.
Well, how do we respond to that?
Well, if you're D&D, you want to back up and kind of just wait for the plant to be take place and just kind of cut your losses.
You kind of have to, unfortunately. I mean, what do you do in the face of 2 of your big initiators there getting taken down within the first 5 seconds of a round? There's not really a lot of potential for them to do anything off of this.
No, I mean, you got a flashpoint. You got 10 seconds up to your fault line. You got a ghost in hand. I mean, the silver lining is they have got their breach left as well as their fade. So utility is there. But considering that it's round number 2 and they've been popped out and Sky's just got a head blown off, it's getting closer and closer to 0 by the second.
It is indeed, especially when they're looking towards Jess immediately. Again, they've caught her out, but they're not even able to trade back a pick. That's the worst part for him. Pop left, last one standing, but she can't do a thing.
No, not able to follow up on that. So unfortunately, that round for DND, not their greatest showing, but plenty more rounds left in the bank to go.
Well, you'd hope so. I mean, I do want to highlight, because we didn't really mention it earlier, obviously, Bish Bash Bosh, we did talk about them not having picked up a game outside of their bye yet, but it's the same story can be said for D&D. So this is arguably our two bottom feeder teams at the moment, which is going to make for an interesting matchup, but it's really gonna be scrappy, and hopefully they can do something, but it's looking tough already.
Oh, so the C's followed by the paint shells is going to be catching their chamber, but that rendezvous is going to be able to take them out nice and quickly. The relay bolt forcing Jenny out, forcing her to rendezvous back into Waterfall, and Kurix, as well as the rest of Bish Bash Bosh, are looking to make an entrance, using their updraft and tailwind to just get themselves onto site. That fast lane is closing their angles. Fault line managing to get two. Oh, and that aftershock is going to be forcing them out, but no follow-up thanks to that dark cover. Bish Bash Bosh forcing D&D to just play back, and Kurix is going to take out Jesse.
That's not
it's all
good for them. No, they do get a pick back from Sky, but it's not looking good for them at all. It's a bit rough, and Bish Bash Bosh, they've got that aggression, they've got the angle, but they're not really able to do a whole lot of anything, unfortunately.
No, they are not. It's everything going in the favor of Bish Bash Bosh. And right now, I don't really see D&D finding the answers to Bish Bash Bosh's aggression.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about it, because at the moment we haven't really seen much from D&D to really answer the aggression coming forward from Bish Bash Bosh. They've tried with some of their own re-aggresses, but you can't re-aggress into aggression. You have to answer it earlier, otherwise you're just going to get caught out.
Yeah, definitely that, very much for sure. And you can see the gaps in D&D's gameplay. You know, all credit to them. You know, a fair few of them have been playing together, you know, for a fair few lands, so you would expect a little bit of synergy, but with the way that Bish Bash Bosh are aggressing onto the sites, it kind of like decimating and picking them apart, and it almost looks like D&D are pretty flustered coming into this game.
You can't blame them though.
No,
Bish Bash Bosh have come out the gate swinging, 100%. And it feels like they just want to take this game home already. Yeah, it looks like you said, they look like they want to wrap up nice and quickly. Which I'm sure production would love, but I think it's more fair to say that as Valorant casters and as Valorant enjoys yourselves, we have to see something coming forward from D&D, otherwise I haven't really seen anything to justify anything. They've not been the team we need them to be, especially against Bish Bash Bosh.
Exactly that. I mean, you know, depending on how the rest of their series play out, you never know. D&D, they might just be here for a good time.
Well, we like being here for a good time. You're here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah, but hopefully it is a long time for them. We would like it to be a long time because it would be more fun. But 100%. I think part of it as well, they have to try and find some form of cohesion, because at the moment it does very much feel like a team of 5 ranked players, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Avi. You know, the gameplay isn't the most cohesive. There are a lot of gaps, and they're just getting punished for it. So Jenny gonna just push up a little bit more aggressive onto Mount, see if they could find anything, but Say's gonna pick them off right there and then. So it's gonna be all systems go onto the C site. Linglin trying to just catch one going through the broken walls onto B site. Rice getting that spike planted. So it's going to get forced out from that fault line, as well as the paint shells.
Yeah, we've seen this 4 rounds in a row. They're just going to walk straight down through onto C, and there's no real answer from D&D at all. They're going to have to go in for a retake on site, but have they even got the utility for it? They've got pistols in hand, but the pincer actually from Bish Bash Bosh isn't going to do too much. I say that Say picks up a third, won't be able to do too much because Ling is just going to clean things out.
100%. Bish Bash Bosh just looking on fire right now. I mean, D&D, they just funneled themselves into Waterfall over on Seaside. They kind of just put themselves into a bit of a kill box right there. You know, they're not looking to spread out, try and cover angles, go onto the flanks, trying to catch members off guard. They kind of just funneled themselves into a bit of a death box.
Yeah, it's really difficult for them, unfortunately, and I think part of it is the lack of aggression for D&D. They are playing so far back in their own half, and they're just letting Bish Bash Bosh run on in. That's the biggest problem for them.
Yeah, they are just like letting them just do whatever they want, and it's starting to cost them. Like you said, that aggression, it's really, really biting them in the backside. So they're going to need to change up some of their tactics to, you know, reevaluate and take the pacing into their own hands. Because right now, Bish Bash Bosh, they're just running away with it.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, and we've seen this time and time again from them. We've seen this in the first series of the day. We've seen them not really doing too much of anything, waiting to make plays happen, but you can't afford to wait. The current meta calls you to be aggressive. You have to run in. You have to be the one to make the plays happen. You cannot wait for the game to fall into your hands, but that is how it feels to watch D&D. It feels like they just want to wait. Wait until someone makes that misstep, but you're not going to make a misstep, especially at this level in the game.
Oh, definitely not. Unfortunately for D&D, they are the team to make that first misstep, and it is costing them dearly.
Sadly, yeah.
But now, we've come out of tech pause, so going back into round number 5 now. So on the side of D&D, they do have, you know, the inventory, the Vandals, shields, but their economy looking worse for wear.
Yeah, very much so, and I think it's fair to say we're currently seeing a if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but Ling Ling walking up B, does catch onto 2. Pristine and Pop already falling, and again, they're trying to aggress, but they don't really have the follow-up on it either.
You can see that Pristine, you know, swinging out first, but then Poppatron, you know, lagging behind, and that's just costing them, you know, their lives. Sky getting peppered through the wall, you know, the wall able to save them, keeping them on 6 HP. Sky finding one through the wall into the smoke, taking out Say. So, you know, that's a start. That's a start. Now, as Rice is getting this spike planted, they have now got 45 seconds left until it detonates. And Sky on 6 HP just needs to be breathed on and they fall. Oh, nice flashpoint to finding 3 in total. Sky doing great work. And now Jess cleans it up. Clinical finish from Jess right there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fantastic one for them, but they really needed that one. It was not looking great initially, losing too early into just about recovering on the retake, and I feel like part of it was Sky's positioning there. Bish Bash Bosh weren't expecting her to just stick it, but you know what? If it's gonna work, it's gonna work.
I also really liked how Sky and Jess coordinated with each other in that last exchange. Jess getting a really critical flashpoint off, able to flash multiple members of Bish Bash Bosh, and Sky able to capitalize it for a double kill.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And that just opened up the doors for Jess to just finish it off.
Yeah, perfect play for him, but part of it that annoyed me was watching them early. Watching Pop and what was it? Pop and Pristine falling incredibly early on a mistimed swing. They went one at a time, and that kind of let Ling Ling have them both for free.
100%. But they managed to, you know, scrape things back at the end, which, you know, really nice to see. So they have got a lot of fight left into them. Now Bish Bash Bosh running through the doors into Tree with that overdrive in tow. The fault line is going to stop them. Fast lane coming up just to mitigate any of the angles, reducing the visibility. Prowler as well as a laser beam to the face. Going to take down Pristine. Curix making the Sky fall. And Jess has got the Rolling Thunder. Got 2 flashpoints as well as an aftershock, but what they might not realize is that there's 2 members and Ling Ling is going to take out the flanker, and now as the shooting gallery is just peppering them, Jenny is going to find one after the rendezvous. Oh, now this has got the tour de force.
She's popped ult.
Popped ult. Oh my god, that was almost a cloud. There's one. Oh, nearly 2. Oh,
I panicked.
You see Curix. Oh, valiant attempt. I liked the, you know, the ambitious, you know, play right there, but not able to, you know, cash out on it.
Yeah, not to be. The Tour de Force putting in work, though. That was nearly one of the most beautiful plays I've ever seen.
A nearly 3k clad.
Wouldn't that have been gorgeous?
Oh, that would have been amazing.
But not to be. But this is part of it that we're not really seeing from D&D. It feels like uncoordinated retakes and pushes, and Bish Bash Bosh are just going to run over you if you keep leaving your gaps open.
Fortunately, that is very much the case, like you said, Abby. So, D&D opting to go for the same play once again. Sky taking the hit for it. Ling Ling being an absolute beast on the Outlaw. And you can see that the rush in onto Seaside. Jenny able to find one with a Headhunter, you know, doing what it says on the box. But again, Seaside just handed over to Bish Bash Bosh.
Yeah, not looking great for them this early, but they do have 3 pushing through on this B side for the time being. Can they, if they can make that rotate through onto C, do they even have the angle? Do they have the timing? Because they've still got 3 currently looking on that C side. And a fourth looking on that flank. It's not really much of a spot for him.
No, it is not. I mean, with the current Arsenal, you know, 2 classics and the Sheriff, there's not much that they're going to be able to do. So all Bish Bash Bosh need to do is play the angles, play the distance, and everything will go up in their favour. Ling Ling is going to just tick things off, followed by Rice. It's all up to Poppy. Classic in hand, not able to do much at all. And we are 6-1 up for Bish Bash Bosh.
Yeah, and I feel like part of that was perfect timing on the swing out from Rice, just to get all the info. Not even spotted properly by DND, but just the call out there. You can see the exact moment where Bish Bash Bosh knew, right, this is what we need to do. They spotted him perfectly. And it's just an easy swing from there. That was really nice timing from them, but we've seen that from DND time and time again. They try and push through that same gap on the waterfall. It's not really much of a play at all.
No, it really isn't. So they've tried a couple of tactics the same, so you can see that they're mounting up on A site, which, you know, with the breach and the raise does make sense along with the fade. That's how you want to see Poppatron starting things off, taking out Ling Long, and Jenny getting overwhelmed. They're able to rendezvous out of there. Sei getting caught by the fault line. Oh, but the shots are just going to go wide.
Yeah, she's not going to be happy with that one, but bit of a wasted off, I suppose, but they're just going to swing on through the aggression. Bish Bash Bosh correct finding onto 2. And that's really nice play from them. They know that this is where D&D like to engage from, so they just swing it before they have the chance to make anything happen. And I like this a lot.
It's really good.
They do get the res. That's something.
Kicking things off. Poppatron only got a few seconds left. And Showstopper coming out. Finding 2! Oh my goodness, Pristine is here to bring the party. So it's a 1v1 versus Rice now. The paint shells have been used. The boombot coming out just to clear the areas. And now that smoke from Poppatron come out. And oh, nicely done. A 4K coming out from Pristine to close it out in clinical fashion. Nicely done.
Very much so. And I think that was... part of that, obviously, huge credit to Pristine for that one, but that was off the back of Poppatron, I would argue, because you had that double initiate going through onto the C-site to main there, and that gave Pristine the opportunity to then make a push. That was really smart from D&D, and then, yeah, Pristine was just able to clean it up. Perfect time on the rocket, perfect time on the swing and clear, and there's not really a lot Rice can do in that spot.
Definitely not, no. I mean, you've got a boombot coming after you, and you got to shoot that first, otherwise you're going to die. But at the same time, you can swing out of the smoke, and then you're going to die. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and unfortunately that hard place is a gun barrel to the head.
I stuck between a butt and a hard place, I'd argue. Yeah, no, hang on, let's try that one again. Is Pop just going to fall off immediately? But Jenny does get that trade onto Rice. That's a big one, because Jenny's actually rotated, swapped her traditional spot over on C into A.
But you can see that Pristine has pushed really far up, and oh, they're going to push up into the firing line of the members of Bish Bash Bosh. Is going to be riddled with bullets, you know, for her efforts. But Jess slowly backing up, 20 seconds on the fault line. She has got the Rolling Thunder still, and it might be a good opportunity to use it, but that Prowler is coming after her. Oh, nicely done, the Nightfall coming out from the side of D&D. Jenny finds one for themselves. The Aftershock forcing Ling Ling away. That spike is down at the entrance, and it's all up to Ling Ling. They equalize the number to a 1v1. Coming out with 73 HP. Reading them like a book and through the wall. Ling Ling, someone check their PC, because that was a stupendous shot.
Hang on, what?
What a read.
What did I just watch? That was almost perfect on that execution from D&D, but suddenly, Bish Bash Bosh just wake up. What? What was that shot from Ling Ling?
For any of you One Piece fans out there, Ling Ling has got observation hacking and is able to see the future of where D&D are going to be. Oh my goodness, what a play. And that's going to be a real kicker for D&D.
I'm blown up.
Oh my goodness. Catching Sky just in the nick of time, just before that dark cover dissipates around. And Ling Ling, how many first bloods has Ling Ling got this game?
Far too many to be allowed, but that shot was almost too good to be true, no?
That was honestly, that was too quick to react to, and Sky, I honestly, not much that could have been done in that situation. The second that dark cover popped, she was instantly spotted by Ling Ling, and poof, away she goes.
Insane. Fans another one. Make that a third for Ling Ling. Absolutely insane right now as Sei's just going to swing round. with Curex's help, and Bish Bash Bosh, what can you even say about them right now other than domination?
Domination. If you look that word up in the dictionary, you will see Bish Bash Box next to it.
Yeah, it's most certainly, especially in this game. DND haven't really got much of a chance to do anything they want. They don't have the chance to aggress, because when they aggress, Bish Bash Bosh have the answer, and that's the problem that we're going to keep running into.
And the next problem that DND are going to be running into is an arsenal full of ultimates on the side of Bish Bash Bosh. Whether they decide to expend it or not is an entirely different story. Jenny popping that tour de force, just missing the members of Bish Bash Bosh just by a hair's breadth. Ling Ling pushing up with that operator and headhunter in tow. Do they know that Poppatron is out? Oh, Ling Ling! They didn't see the shoulder of Poppatron. They turned just at the wrong time. Both of them missed each other, but Poppatron turning first and catching Ling Ling off guard. And now Poppatron just pushing up. Does spot the members of Bish Bash Bosh, able to feed that information. And you can see that Pristine has set themselves up. Oh, they're going to whiff the first shot. That's giving their position away. They get caught by the Paranoid as well as the Prowler of the Seas. And there's nothing that they could do.
That's horribly unlucky for Pristine, as the rest of DND is going to get collapsed upon from that. I say that. Jess finds one traded, but Say, with the overdrive, going to run her down in CT. And it's just Pop left, but doesn't know that there's a Neon in the back line.
Oh, that's very difficult round to come back from, especially from D&D. Started off well, but as soon as that overdrive got popped, you know, it was all she wrote. And it was unfortunate for Pristine, you know, on top of rubble there. Yeah. Great opportunity for them to clear out a lot of the members of Bish Bash Bosh, but once they missed that first shot, very difficult position for them to call themselves out of.
Yeah, that's just bad luck, I think, Father Neos. You can miss the first shot, and it's the unfortunate truth of it, but then just getting stuck in a really awkward spot there is just tough to see.
Fault line coming out through default. Default setup coming out from D&D, you know, they know how they want to play. Poppatron, once again, putting themselves... Oh, but they're going to put themselves into smoke, and they're going to get caught out and punished for it. That fast lane coming out, but they're not going to aggress on through. They're going to be waiting their time. Jenny finding Crix with that operator, and that door has opened the gateway for them to rush over onto C-site. Jenny holding a waterfall, but that dark cover is going to stop them in their tracks. They're going to go for some Hail Mary shots, but find nothing for their efforts.
Yeah, not quite the Hail Marys we've seen from Ling Ling, I'd say, but incredibly good as the Rolling Thunder popped. Counteracted with that Fade ult, but that's going to force both teams. They can't really afford to make much of a push at all from here. They're just going to have to play this one slow for the time being. Wait for re-aggressors. Pristine finds one. Jenny another. And that's their chance to push. Ricky, though, on site, has the aggressive angle, but not really doing anything at all when you're faced with Pristine and Jenny on the rush.
So that was really nicely done from D&D right there. Good use of the Rolling Thunder. You know, Bish Bash Bosh answered it with Nightfall just to, you know, stop the momentum from both sides coming out. And now a 9-3 half. Okay, now Avi, if you're familiar with Valorant, you know that 9-3 is the cursed scoreline.
That it is.
So, will D&D reverse sweep Bish Bash Bosh?
Well, you say that, but we did see a 9-3 from D&D in their first game, and it didn't really work out very well for them. So
one can dream.
One can dream. One who should dream in this instance, because I think what we saw in that last round from them was really solid play, but part of me is also just thinking Bish Bash Bosh have taken full control of this lobby, and I'd be worried if I were D&D right now.
I would completely agree. You can see that the setup from Bish Bash Bosh pretty much mirrors that of D&D and how they started, but look how aggressive they were. D&D would normally move out just a little bit where the ultimate orb was, but Bish Bash Bosh full committing. They have only got one member over on C-side, but D&D has got an opportunity to rush on through, but Ling Ling holding it strong, being that pillar to keep Bish Bash Bosh standing, and Say is going to be making the way through the door, but the Headhunter is not going to be finding the mark. I think you might want to get a refund on that gun for the side of D&D.
You might have to after that one, but not going to swing out. Okay, that gets them two traded, but it's just Jess in a bit of an awkward spot. And Bish Bash Bosh again cleaning up business.
This is like usual for Bish Bash Bosh, so we're going to be going for a 10-3 scoreline. Bish Bash Bosh winning that pistol round, putting themselves into a great spot to run away with the next one.
Yeah, that's unfortunately how it's going to be, but part of me wants to give DND a little bit of credit there because we haven't really seen much of the aggression.
No.
But on that one, they rushed all the way through onto C. It was just unfortunate it didn't work out for them in that initial push. But it's good that they tried it. It was good that they went for it. And hopefully they're going to have a bit more of an opportunity to give it another go because I like that play from them. It looked heads up. It looked good. I really like this.
It was, like you said, a really good play, and it's a play that they should be doing more often. You can see that they're starting to set up more, a little bit more onto B side, but that trademark on the entrance of B is going to really stop them. You know, that rendezvous set up into the back of B side is going to allow the chamber to just teleport back there, and now with that dark cover coming out, it's just stopped DND in their tracks. At this point, what you might want to look at is rotating either to C, but they're looking to go over to A.
Yeah, but I like that setup from Bish Bash Bosh though. They knew where DND were and cornered them. They pressured them from all three chokes on that B side and was really forcing DND back because they knew they could not aggress into that at all. And I like that a lot, but Ling biding time, waiting, knowing Pristine was there. That's really heads up play for him, but does give Say the opportunity, waiting for Jess and Pop. Finds one, looks for the second. Not quite able to find it just yet, but has to back away. Traded out though. And that's gives them the opportunity to make a bit of a play here. They don't have much left in the tank, but DND could make something happen. As Jess finds another onto Ling Ling. Not really able to follow through Kurix onto Jess, Sky, and Jenny now. And that's just clean for the Jet.
Very nice finish coming out from Bish Bash Bosh there. Kurix cleaning it up as if it was business as usual. And once again, Ling Ling being the initiator for Bish Bash Bosh. I'm so interested to see how many first bloods Ling Ling has got. I want to say out of the 22 kills, I want to say at least 14 have been first bloods.
Oh, it certainly feels that way. Well, I say that. We've seen a lot of 3Ks and 4Ks from Ling Ling.
Yeah.
So part of me wouldn't be surprised at all, but it is incredible to see how many entries Ling Ling's been pulling off here. I say that Say nearly completely demolishing onto the Pristine there, but Kurik's the one to find that first pick. And it's not really looking great for D&D. They've already been forced back.
That they have. So they look like they're going to be prepping to go into tree. So the door has been opened, the flashpoint has been caught, and Ricky is full blinded, but they are going to just find Pristine. They weren't quick enough on the initiation. It's going to cost them their life. Popatron able to find Say. A few shots being exchanged on the other side of the map between the two chambers, having a little bit of a chamber off, seeing who can diff the other. Nice execution onto Kurix from Popatron. This is a great start for D&D. It was a little scrappy, but they managed to equalize the numbers.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly what you needed from that spot. You had that rocky start, losing so much HP, losing a pick as well. But you come back into it, I say that, but Ricky catches them out on the bit of a late rotate, but that is going to give them the chance. They're just waiting. See if they can make that push on to B.
30 seconds
Rice
left.
the one to wait, but potentially expecting a bit of a rotate perhaps. They're just going to sit there waiting for the time being. I'm not really sure what they're waiting for. They haven't really got much of anything left, but Rice still trying to read this if possible. Looking for an angle. Catches sight of Jess there, and there isn't much left in the time bank for D&D. They will be able to get this plant down, but there's not really a lot left for him here.
Rolling Thunder ready and available, but it doesn't even matter because once that smoke from Clove dissipates, Bish Bash Bosh just rushed onto site as a 3-man unit, cleaning up D&D, putting themselves onto series point. And Avi, this could be a swift finish.
I think it might well be a swift finish because unfortunately it does feel like Bish Bash Bosh just have all the answers into everything that D&D might throw their way. They've been trying some of the more aggressive plays that we've been asking for them. We think that this is what D&D needs because when they have been playing these more aggressive plays, it's been working well for them. But Bish Bash Bosh have all of the answers. They have answers for the fast. They have answers for the slow as well. That's the most impressive thing as well for them. I'm very impressed, very happy with them too.
This is an interesting angle that Bish Bash Bosh are going for. They've completely left C site open. D&D opting to go for a 5-man rush. You can see that Chamber has pushed up over through B and then is being covered by their own, but you can see that they're running straight through the door. The paranoia from Rice is going to catch one. They manage to find one, and Ling Ling follows through with a second. Sky getting a trade, able to get on to see site, but the spike is all the way back in Narnia, nowhere near the site, and that's allowed Bish Bash Bosh to reconvene and take control of this final round and close it out in spectacular fashion. What a dominant performance from Bish Bash Bosh.
Yeah, certainly. What a way to finish that round, but DND, they tried. It felt very much, you could see the effort coming through, particularly towards that end, but there wasn't anything left in the tank for them. That's the sad part about it, because you see them, they wanted to make that play on to see, they really aggressed for it, but even then, if they leave a site open, Bish Bash Bosh have the answer, and that's the incredible thing to watch for them.
Indeed, indeed. So, production team just informed me that Ling Ling got 6 first bloods. It felt so much more.
Didn't it,
It felt like a lot more first bloods. So, I'm very surprised that it was only single-digit kills. I was like, even like 10, I wouldn't be surprised. But 6, that's surprising, I will admit.
Well, I suppose it's still not a bad number by any means. I think looking at that, apart from anything else, we noted that it felt like more. I think that was probably because even if he wasn't getting the first pick, Ling Ling find that second pick, the trade back. We saw that so many times. If it wasn't the first, it was always the second. And that's the impressive thing for Ling Ling this game.
Very consistent player. And, really well done to both teams. Commiserations to DND,
Oh, absolutely.
It wasn't the performance that they probably were hoping for. There were semblances of greatness, but not able to keep it consistent enough.
That I can very much agree to, but hopefully we see some better performances for them. They do have the bye in the next round, but
will it be enough?
Will it be enough? There's only 2 more games for them, and hopefully they can pick up a win, but it's going to be a tough one for them. But Bish Bash Bosh, I have high hopes for them coming back after. They had a bit of a rougher start this EPIC48, but they are looking pretty solid after that round.
Oh, 100%. They'll be definitely feeling the emotions and riding high. With that being said, we're going to be going over to a short break, okay? Don't go anywhere, because we'll be back with some more Valorant here at EPIC48 with Intel.